y'all, from Liezl I Love Books, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, I'm just a girl who likes reading romance, fantasy romance, paranormal romance, any kind of genre of romance in general. And I also happen to have cerebral palsy, and it would mean the world to me if you would subscribe to my channel. I also hope watching my videos can make your day just a little bit brighter. I posted videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Happy Monday! In today's video, I'm going to talk about my favorite romantasy books that I've read so far this year, plus books that I think could make it onto my list. First book I'm going to talk about, I just finished. This is one of my favorite dark romantasy books I have ever read. It's by a debut author. Her name is Jacqueline White. Maria is the illegitimate daughter of a king, and the king wants an alliance with a neighboring kingdom, and their king is called the Blood King. And the Blood King, whose name is Valen, is known for his cruelty, so he wants to form an alliance with the Blood King, so he doesn't take over his kingdom to save his kingdom. And so he offers his daughters hand in marriage. And the heroine doesn't want to do it, but her father blackmails her with her best friend and her baby sister who she loves, who is the only one that treats her as herself rather than an outcast. Agrees to this marriage with Valen, and at first she thinks she's going to be treated better than how she was treated before, because he seems like a good guy. He seems to treat her with respect. But that all changes the night they get married and they consummate their wedding night. After that day, he does something unforgivable. Turns out Valen has his own nefarious reasons for wanting to get married to Maria. It wasn't to form an alliance with her father. It was for vengeance. That's the only reason he got married to her. Valen is more than just a king, and it's so hard not to talk about this book without spoilers. But let's just say he has divine powers. Valen puts Maria in this dungeon, and all throughout the story she's in this dungeon, and Valen tries to break her mentally, and he tries to get her to submit, because he's like, everything your father did to me, I'm going to do to you. But all throughout this torture, Maria keeps saying, I will not break, I will not break. And there's this other man who's trapped in this prison with her at the other side of the wall. So This book is basically about Maria being stuck between two morally gray men, but who is she gonna choose? Because eventually she starts to have feelings for her captor, her husband, or her cellmate. There are so many twists and turns in this book that I did not guess. And Maria's human, she has no powers, but her power is her mental fortitude. Basically, a love triangle between two morally gray men. And how does the Valen know the other guy from the cellmate? I know how they're connected, but I don't want to spoil it in case you haven't read the book. Love dark fantasy romance. If you love beautiful writing, if you love a love triangle, please read Souls in Ruin. And if you read the last 3 chapters of this book, you know the title of this book makes sense. And oh my god, this book was just everything. I need my friends to read this book. Rachel from Raven-Haired Reader, Jess from Honest Fiction, Tori from Novel Life, Jen from the book Refuge, Jessica from Peace Love Books. Everyone who loves fantasy, dark romantasy, please read this book. Duskbound, the second book, Asperian trilogy. Now, I haven't been able to stop thinking about Duskbound. And although book 1 was not my favorite, I give it 3 stars. Book 2 is the best sequel I've read, hands down. It fixed all of the problems that I had with book 1. The world building expanded. The characters grip you. You meet the Shadow Daddy love interest, because I didn't like the love interest in book 1. And the heroine's powers grow exponentially, and the romance between the heroine and the Shadow Daddy, oh, it was everything. I love Duskbound, but you have to read Riftborn in order to read Duskbound. I promise you, if you don't like the first book, please continue on, because this book was everything. Duskbound was everything. Also, I highly recommend the audiobook because it's told in duet narration style. You're in the heroine's POV throughout most of the book. You're in the heroine's POV throughout the whole book. I misspoke. POV. And by the way, I forgot to mention Sam from Sam Reads a Little. She also really needs to read. Even the female narrator, she bumped up her game with the narration of book 2. I just loved it. The Ascended is also by British and Lennox. The Ascended and their Asperian trilogy are part of the same world. They are different realms. In the first book, we learn about each realm, and in the Ascended, we learn how these realms are connected. Like, I think the Ascended takes place years after Riftborn, and the Ascended is about women as star powers. And she hides her powers because this world is controlled by the gods. And the gods sends the priest down to collect the humans that show a godly powers, and they force them to participate in these trials. And the heroine has a twin. His name is Thatcher. And the heroine thought she's the only one who has powers, 'cause Thatcher and their adoptive father, they thought that he was just ordinary. But when they kill their adoptive father, because they caught the heroine using her powers, and they found out she is a twin, they forced Thatcher to participate in these trials also, to become an ascendant. And it turns out during the trials, they forced torture upon Thatcher, and it's through that torture that his powers manifest. Thatcher and the heroine's biological father is a god. Like, it's not a spoiler, you will learn that in chapter 1. And so Thatcher, his sister, come up with a plan to win these trials, get revenge on the people that murdered their father. But in order to compete in these trials, one of the gods of the Ascended has to pick you to train and represent them. Liezl picks the heroine. He is the son of the god of war. And Thatcher gets picked by the son of his biological father. This story has gods and goddesses, a romance between a mortal and a god, with the heroine and Liezl and Thatcher's storyline, and I just love them so much. And when you see how the Ascended connects with the Asperian trilogy, especially with Duskbound, your jaw will drop to the floor. I have never read anything like this book. I just can't stop thinking about how these books connect with each other. I can't say the series name. The title of the first book, here's the title of the second book. But it's best to go into this story blind. We're following Faye. And this woman, she is a dryad Faye. And she participates in this wild hunt. And she accidentally kills one of the Autumn Prince's men. They kidnap the heroine and they force her to be on their side. And it's a romance between the heroine and the Autumn Prince. And that's all I'm gonna say. It's an enemies to lovers romance. Book 1 was great. I liked it. But book 2, the ending for book 2 is heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking. Like, I can't believe I read what I read in book 2. I don't know how the heroine is going to get her AGA. And this cliffhanger is brutal. Next up, we have my predictions that's going to be added to this list of favorites. We have A Dawn of Chaos and Fury, the final book in the Legacy series by Melissa K. Roerich. I know this book is going to be a favorite. I just want to see how it ends. The conclusion for Tessa, Theon, and Luca. Brimstone by Callie Hart. It's the sequel to Quicksilver. All I remember about Quicksilver is the ending, so I just have to reread it to refresh myself of what happened. But I loved Quicksilver, but I don't remember what happened. If I don't have time to reread it, I will be looking for a recap version of this book. And the last book for my predictions is Silver and Smoke, the conclusion to the Ashes of Besmar trilogy. I just need to see Ren and Torch get their HEA. Those are all the Romantasy books I've been loving so far this year. Please let me know if you have read any of these books. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Liking this video would help me a lot. And I'll see you Wednesday. Bye.